Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to high school basketball here on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Great to have you with us. Jim Churchill, and I'll be joined by Mark Paulette at the beginning of this game. Our matchup, game number 2 of the day here on Ticket TV, the John Bapst boys and the MDI Trojan boys. First game of the day, it was MDI winning in the girls' contest, 63-32. Of course, last night we tipped off our coverage on Ticket TV with a great one from Brewer High School. That was a 55-49 win for the Brewer Witches over the Skowhegan Riverhawks. High school basketball here on Ticket TV is presented by Quirk Auto Group. Visit a Quirk Auto Group dealership in Bangor, Belfast, Augusta, or Portland, and at quirkauto.com. Well, Mark, good to be back in these gymnasiums with fans in the stands. Had a good crowd last night, good crowd today here at Herman High School. Again, John Bapst, the home team in these games, hosting MDI on a neutral court. But good to be around some fans in the stands.
Yeah, it really does make all the difference. You notice it even during the JV games with some of the teams, the varsity teams filing in and piling up behind the benches, cheering on the younger squads. It's just such a stark contrast to what we had last year, which, I mean, everyone made the most of it, right? The students on the floor, the coaches, fans watching the games that we were streaming, but it's nice to have people back in the building for sure.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, we're tracking the Heel Point standings once again after the regional pod play last year, and every team starting out 0-0 wants to get off to a good start, and that certainly is the case for the boys from MDI and the boys from John Bapst. Let's take a look at the program histories first for the visitors from MDI. And last time we had a high school basketball season, that was back in the 2019-2020 season, a regular season. The Trojans finishing up at 8-10, but you see a lot of success the previous 2 seasons, 15-3 back-to-back for the Trojans. And for John Bapst High School, program history, it was a tough one back in a couple of years ago. And Ed Jones, the head coach, trying to get this program back on the beam. Class C state champions back in 89-90 and Class B state champions in 1993 for the Crusaders.
Yeah, just looking through some of the history here before the game, John Bapst has actually played in a state title game, the boys, in Class A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. So they have been all across the classes throughout their history, and MDI, pretty much the same thing, Class B, C, and D, 9 regional titles, 5 state championships.
All right, we will take a quick timeout. We'll come back, we'll get the starting lineups, and we'll get this one tipped off. It's MDI and John Bapst here on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Back in Herman, Jim Churchill, Mark Paulette here on Ticket TV as we get set for our second game of the day from Herman High School. John Bapst playing some games here, and I guess we are going to get the starting lineups here for game number 2. And for MDI, part of the starting lineup, Spencer Lorandu. Also in the lineup, A.J. Lozano, Charlie Parker, Caden Reed, and Alex Gray. So Lorandu, Lozano, Parker, Reed, and Gray, the starters for Coach Justin Norwood. And now we'll get the starting 5 for Ed Jones and the John Bapst Crusaders. Jordan Kimball in the starting 5 for the Crusaders. Eduardo Fiore. Saw him on the football field this past fall. John Pangburn. Remember him from last year. Kevin Austin also in the starting lineup, and rounding out the lineup is Andrew Zapiga. So it's Kimball, Fiore, Pangburn, Austin, and Zapiga for the John Bapst Crusaders. And we're going to have the national anthem here at Herman High School. national anthem played. Teams with their last huddle before we get this one tipped off. Trojans taking the floor and the Crusaders follow right behind. We do have some other scores from the Big East we'll get to here very shortly, but we'll get this one tipped off. Again, Mark, everybody with a clean slate. Trying to get win number 1.
Opening day.
All right, the ball is up, and the tip is won by the Trojans. MDI, Charlie Parker. It's Lozano out top. Lozano in the lane, drops it down low to Caden Reed, and we're going to get a foul here against John Bapst. Based upon the body language, that one's going to go against Eduardo Fiore. Ball comes in to Reed. Here's the first shot of the game. It's put up by Charlie Parker. No good. Offensive board, though, for A.J. Lozano. Nothing doing along the baseline for Alex Gray. They go inside to Reed. Caden backing in. Little side-saddled shot there off, no good, but another rebound for MDI, and that shot is up, no good by Larendo, and it's going to be out of bounds off the Crusaders. Parker looking for help. Larendo in the corner, rattles home a 3. So MDI on the board first. Now the Crusaders on the attack. And almost a steal by Parker there at midcourt. Pangburn along the baseline, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds.
Well, that's one carryover so far from our first game this afternoon. The Trojan defense in the girls matchup, I should say, was really dialing up the pressure on John Bapst. You can see MDI boys doing it so far in the first minute and a half of this one.
Fiore gets between a couple of Trojans, but he's going to travel with the basketball, and that turnover is going to give it back to MDI. 3-0 Trojans, early going in this one, 6:44 on the clock here in the first quarter. Larendo gets it off to Lozano. Lozano tries to go between the legs, and I guess they're going to say no contact there from number 41, Zapiga. So that'll be a backcourt violation, and the basketball is going to go to the Crusaders.
Even the Bapst player looked a little surprised by that call, but I'm sure he'll take it.
There was a hand reaching in there. Official much closer to the action than we are. Here's Fiore spinning, takes it near the left elbow, looking for some help. Goes down low, but a second traveling violation, this one against Kevin Austin. So no surprise, a bit of a choppy start here. First time out. Of course, they've played scrimmages and preseason games, but nothing like games that count. Lozano. Larendo, now it's Parker, and Pangburn trying to get his hands on top of the basketball there. Parker ripped it away. Lozano for 3, left side. Air ball picked off in the air by Larendo, and that one is going to be off of John Bapst, so it'll be MDI basketball.
Yeah, you talk about a bit of a choppy start here with it being the opening minutes of the season for both of these teams. I think what you mentioned, countable games are different. You also have to remember the fact that the oldest kids on the court out here were sophomores the last time that true countable games were played.
Oh, a couple defenders were surrounding Alex Gray, and they both kind of veered off, and that left Gray wide open. He put it off glass for 2. Pangburn. Bapst trying to break the ice. Fiore can't get it to go. Get a second chance on a tip, gets the rebound. He's double teamed, and he's going to get a 3-second call if he doesn't get out of there, and he can't. And that'll be another turnover for the Crusaders. Again, a swarming defense around that basketball by MDI. They knew I had him hemmed in there against the end line. Pass almost got away from Caden Reed. Here's Gray. Parker thought about the three, puts it to the floor. Now it's Lozano into the paint. Nothing there for him. The defense by the Crusaders. Parker, Lozano has his pass tipped, and it's going to be tracked down by Laurendo. And Laurendo lost his footing. He ends up out of bounds, and the pass is going to go awry and out of bounds, and it's going to be John Bapst basketball. .4:35 on the clock here at Herman High School. Again, hosting these two teams. Officially, this is a home game for the Crusaders. It's a drive down the right side of the lane. It's a Piga. Now it's Fiore flying in there. Missed the layup, but gets the tip to go. Eduardo Fiore's been very active here in the early going, and finally has something to show for it. 5-2 MDI, but they're going to lose the basketball.
Oh, look at that last bucket as Fiore just kind of taking matters into his own hands, knifing down the lane. He's on the wrong side of a 1-on-3 advantage for MDI, but gets his own miss, second chance opportunity.
Yeah, importantly, came straight down and went straight back up very quickly to get that tip and get the Crusaders off the schneid here early in this one. Oh, good hands there by Alex Gray, but he can't get to the basketball. Nick Chaffee, or check that, Jordan Kimball still out there for John Bapst. Same starting five for the Crusaders. Here's Fiore. Skips it from left to right. Shot is up. That is off. Austin right there, though, and his putback will drop. So the Crusaders trying to exert themselves on the offensive glass. Got a 30-second timeout. Let's take a look at the county PT injury report. And as we always hope, we have a very clean injury report.
Well, especially starting off the season, too, right? You don't want to ever have squads going into a year a little bit banged up.
Both teams healthy and ready to go for this one. County Physical Therapy is located at 82 Sylvan Road in Bangor. You can schedule your appointment by calling 401-4324. Out of the timeout, MDI with the basketball. Parker. And that one gets loose, picked up by Pangburn.
Traveling call right there, wiping out the bucket in transition.
So the score remains MDI 5, John Bapst 4. Into the game for MDI, Jack Hodgson. Here's Parker trying to slice through that John Bapst defense, missed the layup. Ball still loose. Laurendo picks it up. Here's Hodgson along the baseline. He tries to go off glass. That won't go. And it's going to be off MDI.
That's kind of been the best source of offense for both teams so far in the early going. Just try to bully your way into the paint, see if you can make something happen around the basket.
Now it's Bapst in the half court. Fiore backing in. Goes to the right wing. This one is teed up. And it's going to be wide of the mark. Shot there by Corey Butler. You can tell Butler knew that one was off right from the get-go as he hustled in trying to get the offensive rebound. Here's a takeaway by Fiore up the right side. Goes behind the back and feeds the streaking Butler who can't finish. Charlie Butler right down the middle of the lane. And now a collision. And we're going to get a block here against John Pangburn. 2:26 left here in the first quarter. Slow start for both sides. 5-4 our score.
Not for a lack of open shots either. Both teams have had some good looks here, just unable to convert.
Caden Reed back into the ball game for MDI. Also checking in, Joey Minotolo. Here's Reed for three, and that's off the mark, no good. Fiore, again, very active in the rebounding category, has a defensive board. Butler, kick out, shot up, and that is no good. Bapst tried to keep it alive. Nick Chaffee couldn't hit that one.
Kick save right there to stop the fast break.
Kick save and a beauty. Into the game for MDI is Evan Ankrom. Austin's going to check out. In for Bapst, Ben Lepiski. Both coaches using a lot of players here in this first quarter. Open underneath is Reed. He misses the layup. And the rebound is down to Chaffee. Again, another golden opportunity. And an errant pass there. Taken away by Hodgson.
Last two times down the court for the Trojans, you're not going to find many more open shots than the opportunities that they have had, yet unable to convert either.
Ankrum in the paint. Hodgson going backdoor, a collision, and that foul is going to be against Hodgson. Taking the hit there was Fiore.
Yeah, another look at it here. I guess we just missed it.
Missed the contact. We saw the aftermath with Fiore on his backside. Minute and a half left here in this first quarter. Both teams trying to get their basketball legs and shooting legs underneath them. Oh, almost the alley-oop play there by John Bapst. That didn't work. Chaffee was on the receiving end. Here's MDI at the other end. Another close-range shot is missed, and another rebound for Eduardo Fiore. Pangburn zips it left. Chaffee, threads the needle inside to Butler. Goes high off the window for 2 points. Corey Butler. My apologies. Corey Butler with his first bucket of the ball game, and it's a 6-5 Bapst lead. Mitolo misses the shot, and the rebound to Bapst. Here comes Fiore. Strong pass, cross court. Now Pangburn will back it off. Corey Butler on the wing. Here's Fiore taking it hard to the hole, puts up the shot, and draws the contact. And Eduardo will be at the free throw line.
Here's a look at that last bucket for John Bapst. Look at this dime right here. Just a one-handed dish through the lane, splitting the Trojan defenders.
That is a good-looking bounce pass right there across the lane. And Corey Butler with the finish. Fiore hits the free throw. He's up to 3 points. Second free throw is too strong, but offensive board. Tracking it down Fiore. Here's Corey Butler. Back to Fiore. He's got some space on that right side, and he powers his way to 2 points.
John Bapst finding the passing lanes here the last couple of trips.
Wide open is Minutolo, and he'll hit the three. The lefty drains it. That is the second three in the ball game for MDI. Lorenzo has one. And that gets the Trojans to within one. 9-8 our score. Fiore down low. Shot is short. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. Levi Peterson with the last second shot. It would not drop. At the end of one here in Herman, it is John Bapst 9 and MDI 8. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Welcome back to high school basketball on this Saturday afternoon. John Bapst and MDI boys matchup. Just getting the second quarter underway. Crusaders leading at 9-8. Corey Butler tries from long range, and that's wide of the mark. Rebound to the Trojans. Spencer Lorendo comes near side to Caden Reed. Fends off the defender, gets it to Parker. Charlie Parker. Lorendo back out to A.J. Lozano. Now they try to get it back to Lorendo, and standing right there in the passing lane is Levi Peterson. Pangburn zigging and zagging his way up the court. Corey Butler, right side, shot, bounces off. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be won by MDI. Reed coming away with it. Parker back to Laurendeau. Hodgson guarded closely, and a steal here by Peterson. But they're going to say he traveled. He was trying to tiptoe down that sideline and took the extra step. So that's going to give it back to the Trojans. Leading scorer in the ball game, Eduardo Fiore for John Bapst. He's got 5. Laurendeau and Minatolo each with a 3 for MDI. Oh, that pass right off the noggin, I believe, of Lozano. Bounced back to Laurendeau. Fortunately, Pangburn knocked that one away, picked up by Lozano. And a travel here by Laurendeau. Tried to get a quick start there and didn't get the basketball to the floor.
Yeah, that choppiness has bled over into the second quarter here in the opening minutes as these teams trying to find any sort of rhythm at the offensive end.
Here's a steal by Reed. He's ahead of the pack. Pangburn chasing him down. Can't get there in time. And Pangburn slamming into the wall and taking out a photographer here along the baseline. Photographer getting a hand up.
Yeah, that's one thing about pretty much any high school gym that we're going to be doing games from. There is no room back there behind the hoop. It is wall immediately after you cross over.
In this case, a cinder block wall. Actually, the photographer kind of padding things in that area. There is padding right underneath the basket. That pass off the shoulder of Peterson. A little too hard from close range, and that's going to give it to the Trojans. And we have a timeout on the floor. And it's going to be a quick timeout, so we will keep it right here. Let's take a look at the rosters of these two teams. Gave you the program histories earlier, and we'll start with MDI, Mark, and a fair amount of seniors on this team. I see 7.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because we showed the program history the last couple of years in the pregame. Back-to-back 15-3 seasons, including runs through the tournament there, and then last time out 2019-20, an 8-10 year. That was kind of a rebuilding year for the Trojans, as you can see with the roster, and of course last year not being a countable season. Very senior and upper class laden squad.
Get to the Crusader roster here momentarily. Right now, back to the action on the floor out of the timeout. Trojans with it. Lozano's pass, he didn't connect with his intended receiver. That would be Laurendeau, but Parker is there to track it down. Here's Gray back into the ball game. His ball scoops out, but he's there to get the offensive rebound, and trying to thread the needle there was Lozano, but Bapst with the takeaway. Good defense there by Nick Chaffee. Crusaders at the other end. Little runner along the baseline by Kimball. That doesn't fall. Kimball, though, hustling back, knocked the basketball away. Both teams working really hard at the defensive end.
I see a lot of players, specifically at this end of the court, that we're looking at slipping in the lane. I wonder if there's some moisture on the floor down there. This is, the 4th game of the day here at Herman High School.
Reed on the near side. Looks inside. And got the pass to Lozano, but Lozano's momentum was going to take him out of bounds. He flung it back right into the hands of Fiore. Fiore, long skip pass. Here's a ball up, and that's going to be off the front of the iron by Nick Chaffee. Long rebound, ball loose near midcourt. It's going to be off Bapst. So first game of the season, a lot of turnovers, a lot of missed shots, many of them from close range. 5 minutes left to go here in the first half in a very low-scoring contest. MDI 10, Bapst 9. Gray inside, kick out Parker. Parker shoots the 3, and he rattles it in. Charlie Parker with his first points of the day. So 3 threes for MDI. Really the story for them offensively.
Whatever's working for you.
They will take it. Here's the shot put up by Chaffee. Nice looking mid-range shot there by number 21. Nick with his first two. 13-11, and that pass. We are back here at Herman High School. Sorry for that very annoying sound there momentarily. That's what happens when a wire gets loose, Mark. Parker misses the free throw, so the score remains 13-11. Second one by Charlie, and that one in and out. And the rebound to the Crusaders. At the other end, up and down. Strong there from Levi Peterson, and that will tie the ball game at 13.
Yeah, had a Trojan on his front and his back, but able to just power up through them.
Gray will try a three. That is off iron, no good. Chaffee on the fly, ball loose, and it's going to be picked up by Ankrum for MDI. Parker zipping up the floor in the corner. Here's Minutolo, and that is not going to be his second three. Lefty hit one from the left side, could not get that one to go from the right corner.
MDI coach Justin Norwood has to be happy with the looks that his team is getting offensively, but just unable to convert here for much of the first half.
Shot wide right. Offensive rebound, though, for Reed, and he powers his way up. Good, strong work. Or check that. That's Austin. Kevin Austin for MDI. For John Bapst. Caden Reed plays for MDI. Lorendo, off his fingertips, able to regain control of the basketball. Natolo fakes the three, drives in the paint, puts up a little fall away from about 6 feet, but left it short. And the rebound to the Crusaders. They have a 2-point lead in the basketball. Kimball comes near side to Chaffee. Now Kimball gets it back. He'll fire up a three, and that's an air ball saved in by Chaffee, but right into the hands of Charlie Parker. He streaks up the right side, kicks it back to Lorendo. Three around and out. Fiore another rebound. Strong outlet. Chaffee taking on a couple of defenders, and he can't get the shot off, and that's because he was fouled from behind by Spencer Lorendo.
That near corner down below us at the MDI end just has not been kind to the Trojans. They have had 3 open looks in the last 4 possessions. Haven't been able to knock any of them down.
Chaffee's going to check out. Peterson checking out. Kimball checking out. Butler is back in. Pangburn back in. Here's a shot in and out by Fiore. Also into the ball game is Zapiga. 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. We get a tight one. Low scoring. Hodgson bounces it to Reed. Caden looking over the defense. Finds a cutting Lorendo, who lays it up and in. Nice work, nice patience shown there by MDI. Lorendo now with 5.
By my count, the largest lead for either side has been 4 points. Does that seem accurate?
Yep. Corey Butler, short range, or I should say mid-range shot. And didn't grab any iron there. MDI now in the half court, trying to regain the lead. Ankrum looking for a cutting Lorendo again. This time Spencer can hit the shot, but Caden Reed is right there to clean up.
Nice follow by Reed, just to be at the spot to grab that rebound, put it back up and in before John Bapst could seal off the corner.
Yeah, he came flying in there. He had a tough angle to get that shot off glass and to go down. And we got a foul at the other end of the floor, and this one's going to go against MDI.
Here's a look at a couple of the last possessions from John Bapst. You see the cutting layup right there, and then the last time down, flying in for the offensive rebound.
Lauren Doe with a couple of attempts. He was 1 for 2, and there's Reed with the follow. Ankrum checks out for Coach Norwood. Lozano back into the ball game, and 1 for 2 at the line, or 2 for 2 is Zafiga. So we are tied at 17 again, and Hodgson trying to get that one back to a teammate, and they're going to say it was deflected out of bounds off John Bapst. I think the official underneath the hoop had a turnover, but the official out on the wing saw a deflection. Parker almost lost it, gets it back, gets it to Hodgson. Lauren Doe, left wing. Parker having trouble finding any room against Fiore. Here's Lozano picking it up in backcourt. And now gets things reignited, and we have a timeout called by Coach Justin Norwood with 19.2 seconds on the clock. And we'll sneak in a very quick break here. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV. Back at Herman High School, MDI and John Bapst playing here today. We'll be looking at our upcoming broadcast schedule. We'll be back here at Herman a couple of times this coming week. Once for a girls game. Their girls winners earlier today. They try to go back door from long range there to Parker. Parker hustling back, knocks the ball away from Reed. Seen a lot of attempts here early in this game to try to thread the needle with some of these passes. It did work once for John Bapst. And a little too close there was Parker. He'll draw the foul. 4.6 seconds coming up. The Mainly Supplements halftime report. We'll have highlights, stats, and I got some scores here from the Big East. Here's the shot up. There was some contact there. No foul, and it is good by Zapiga. He was looking for the extra shot there. Didn't get it, but he'll take the 2, and John Bapst will take a 2-point lead into the locker room. That is our score at the half. Crusaders 19, Trojans 17. We'll be back with a Mainly Supplements halftime show after this. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. We are back for the Mainly Supplements halftime show. Mainly Supplements is a fully stocked nutritional supplement store. They are an official presenting sponsor of high school sports here on Ticket TV. Mainly Supplements, located at 109 Bangor Mall Boulevard in Bangor, right next to Hannaford, and at mainlysupplements.com. And our broadcasts of high school basketball are also brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales. Nothing runs like a deer in Bangor and Ellsworth, and at greenwayequipment.com. All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. Again, our score, John Bapst 19, MDI 17. And this is MDI at work. And Spencer Laurendo getting the Trojans off and running. Simple inbounds play there. Hits the 3. And inside position there by Gray. Gets double teamed. Then the players kind of veer away from him. That left him wide open for 2. Eduardo Fiore has been very active here in this first half. Misses the first attempt there, but right back up with the tip to pick up 2 points. Here's Chaffee threading the needle across the lane to Corey Butler, who went high off glass for 2 points. Butler again. Gets it off to Fiore. Fiore showing that strength. Up and down for 2 points. There's Minutolo for MDI with the 3 from the left corner. And a takeaway here by the Trojans. This is Caden Reed ahead of the pack. John Pangburn trying to get there. Can't do it. Gray again in the lane. Kick out. Charlie Parker gets square. High arching shot there. He nails that one. And here's Chaffee. Left elbow. Good pull up. Crusaders on the move here. Fiore up ahead, and that's Levi Peterson with the strong move. Miss there, weak side rebound. Fiore between a couple of Trojans, able to get that one off. I think that was actually Reed, or check that, Austin. Keep getting those two mixed up, but that was Kevin Austin with the deuce there for the Crusaders. Spencer Laurendo with the cut and bucket. Tries it again here, can't finish, but his buddy, Caden Reed, steps in, picks up the two on the follow. Nice dish there by Corey Butler across the lane to Zapiga, who puts it up and in. And those are your first half highlights. Again, 19-17, John Bapst with the lead. We will step aside. We'll come back with some first half scoring numbers for you. And we also have some Big East scores as well. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Back with the halftime show brought to you by Mainly Supplements. Let's run down some of the first half scoring here. John Bapst with the lead for MDI. Spencer Laurendo with 5 points, 3 for Joey Minutolo, 3 also for Charlie Parker, and 4 for Caden Reed, 2 for Alex Gray for their total of 17. For the Crusaders of John Bapst High School, leading the way for them, a pair of players, Eduardo Fiore with 5 leads the way for the Crusaders. 4 for Andrew Zapiga, and then 4 also for Kevin Austin, and 2 apiece for Nick Chaffee, Levi Peterson, and Corey Butler. So there's your first half scoring. John Bapst 19, MDI 17. Some other scores from around the Big East Conference. On the boys' side, Ellsworth defeating Mount View by a final of 72-55. It was Old Town all over Caribou, 76-38. Orono with a win against MCI, 73-52. On the girls' side, Ellsworth victorious against Mount View. Herman doubles up Waterville, 70-35. We'll see the Herman girls this week. Of course, earlier today here on Ticket TV, MDI with a win over John Bapst, 65-32. MCI defeating Orono on the girls' side, 56-32. And Holton at Foxcroft Academy, that game was postponed. You got a team from the north and a team from the west, Mark, and no surprise with the freezing rain and a lot of the wintry conditions we have about that game would get postponed.
Yeah, today is not a day to be traversing the back roads of Maine, is it?
All right, let's take a quick look at our upcoming broadcast schedule here on Ticket TV. We'll pick things up coming up on Tuesday evening. We got a doubleheader on Tuesday, doubleheader on Wednesday, single games on Thursday and Friday. On Tuesday, Messalonsky at Brewer. That's a 6 p.m. tip. Presque Isle at Old Town. That should be a good one. And then on Wednesday, a couple of boys' games. Presque Isle and Old Town. Orono at Herman. Orono at Herman Girls, or pardon me, Old Town at Herman Girls on Thursday. And Nokomis at Brewer. Mark, there will be a lot of attention around that game. We saw Brewer last night in a tight one, a victory over Skowhegan. Of course, the talk of the state when it comes to basketball is that Nokomis team featuring a pair of twin towers and a very solid veteran core there. Of course, Cooper Flagg is the one that's getting all the attention, 6'8", and he can do it all.
Yeah, and I was meaning to look up the scores from yesterday to see if we could find out some of those matchups, trying to do it right now, but that will be a hot ticket for a week from last night in Brewer.
All right, teams making their way back on the floor, at least MDI. Ed Jones with some final words for his squad. There is still a minute, 15 seconds on the clock. We were going to take another break, but looks like we're ready to play basketball here, so we'll keep it right here. We'll make up that break.
Well, again, this is the
second half.
This is the conclusion of a 4-game day here at Herman High School. I think everyone's saying, hey,
keep
if
things
we
on
can
track here.
Get this moving, let's get it going.
We'll take any minute we can save. Parker going back door, tries to whip it around and get it to his teammate Reed. It goes off the leg of a Crusader. And now it's Pangburn into the front court for John Bapst. Fiore to Reed, or Austin. Now Kevin Austin with the floater, and he's got it. Kevin Austin for John Bapst now with 6 points. He's a senior, listed as a guard.
Here's another look at that first basket here in the second half. John Bapst has now matched the largest lead of the game for either side at 4 points, 21-17 early in the third.
Good job there by Austin to create the passing lane, and nice touch on that floater. So the Crusaders up by 4. Lauren Doe goes to Parker. Parker to Caden Reed. Backdoor. Lozano, he's got 2. Good ball movement there by the Trojans. Results in 2 points and gets them to within 2. Here's Kimball. Fall away shot. And he gets that one to drop. Strong move there by Jordan Kimball. Lead back to 4 for John Bapst.
At this rate, the teams are going to eclipse the first half scoring mark by about halfway through this quarter.
Yeah, it was a struggle in that first half. Reed for MDI can't hit the 3. Fight for the rebound, and I think we're going to end up with a tie-up. It was Fiore against 3 Trojans.
Look at that last bucket for MDI, the backdoor cut right here, and then able to position his body around a couple of defenders trying to close in.
Nice job there by Lozano, turning that body, protecting the basketball, going up strong. Zapiga caught in traffic, gets out of there, flips it to Austin, and again a nice touch there by Kevin Austin. He nets 2 more.
And that is the largest lead of the game for John Bapst, 6 points.
25-19. Kevin Austin now with 8 as Lozano gets tripped up by Pangburn, who was on the floor. So it's going to be MDI basketball.
Seems like both of these teams certainly coming out of the half with a sense of urgency.
And they try to float it in the middle of the lane to Reed. It's taken away by John Bapst. Little fake there by Kimball. Can't hit the left-handed layup, though. And here's Caden Reed. Lozano in front of the scorer's table. Out top to Parker. Parker crosses over. Good job by John Bapst to close things up there in the paint. Lauren Doe, here's Parker. Gray on the wing. Hands it off to Lozano. Pangburn got his hand in there to poke it away, but then fell to the floor. MDI showing some patience in this possession. Here's Lozano with the layup from the right side. That's no good. Zapiga on the floor. Now a couple of Trojans in there, and we got another tie-up. It's going to be John Bapst basketball. I don't know if they changed the arrow the last time. Seems like it should be MDI ball, but Ed Jones providing some free consulting work there.
Yeah, trying to subtly influence the call in any way he can.
Well, looks like it's going to stay MDI basketball. Who are we to question Bob Beefy? Reed curls a bounce pass inside to Gray, back out to Lozano, and doesn't get the bounce on the jumper. And the rebound to Austin. Gets it out to Zapiga. Andrew goes between the legs. Now out top to Fiore. Kimball will try a 3, and that one is no good. A little too strong. I think you jinxed us, Mark. Here's Parker for 3, and that's off the back of the rim, no good.
Yeah, there's been a lid on each basket since I said that.
One and done for the Trojans. Here's Pangburn. And he gets tied up, falls to the floor. Parker comes away with it, ahead to Lauren Doe. A couple of Crusaders there. Who's going to get the foul? As Spencer Laurendoe went hard to the hardwood.
Here's another look at it. This was a physical
sandwich job there. Whoa. And
The smallest guy of the three took the brunt of it.
I think Fiore ended up landing on him as well. And Spencer, no worse for the wear, hits the free throw. It gives him 6 points on the day. Levi Peterson coming back in. Spiga checking out. Lauren Doe dips and does not get the roll this time. So 1 for 2 at the line for Spencer. 25-20 Bapst. Here's Peterson off the bench, taking it hard to the hole. He'll get the lay-in and draw the foul. Levi Peterson, a chance here for a three-point play.
Look at this move, right through the lane, stepping around a couple defenders.
Yeah, they got that rest on the bench and came out full of vim and vigor. Now Levi at the line, trying to extend the John Bapst lead to 8. And back and forth for all the first half. Peterson misses the free throw. So the score remains 27-20. Parker hands to Laurendeau, now bounces it back to Parker. He hands it off to Gray, and Gray straight up and gets the bucket.
Some pretty passing that time from the Trojans to work their way through this tough John Bapst defense.
Alex Gray now with 4. And they try to go backdoor to Peterson, and it's going to be off his fingertips out of bounds.
Just a look at the passing display the last time down the court for the Trojans. Working it around at least 3 Crusader defenders.
A little scoop pass there from Parker, and Gray goes up strong. Head to Austin right there. Laurendeau along the baseline, bangs into Pangburn, gets it to Ankrum. And Minutolo tries to drop it down inside to Gray. Ball deflected. Bapst takes it away. Fiore at the offensive end now. Drives baseline. Caught underneath the basket. Kicks it out to Kimball. Kimball has his shot blocked by Gray. Here's Fiore for 3. And that's going to be off the heel of the rim. Kimball fights hard. Gets the offensive rebound. Fiore. Minutolo. Some good defense there on the ball. Stop Fiore's progress, and now Bapst will settle things down. Work the ball around the perimeter. Pangburn in the corner says, why not me? That one is short. And one hop into the hands of Parker. 27-22. 2:40 left here in the third quarter. Lozano's getting set to check back in for MDI. Parker turns and gets tripped up, ends up on the floor in the lane. And that one's going to be against Levi Peterson. Corey Butler coming in for Bapst. Kimball will check out. Lozano coming in for MDI. Laurendeau will check out. Now it's Gray. Gray, kick out in the corner. Lozano. Ankrum looking for help. A handoff to A.J. Lozano. Here's Ankrum. All alone for 3, and it's all net.
Well, it felt like for a while the Crusaders were gaining control of this game here in the third quarter. Then you blink and it's back to a 2-score affair. 2-point affair, excuse me.
Based upon what we've seen for almost 3 quarters, I don't think that's going to happen for either side. Corey Butler will pick up 2 there. Players who are weaving around him. He just spun 180, went straight to the hole and laid it in. And the ball knocked out of bounds on the near side. Parker's going to come out. Hodgson in. Chaffee in. Fiore out for the Crusaders. Lozano spins, gets it in the corner to Gray. Ankrum, who just hit the 3. Looking for a cutting Alex Gray. Again, very tight window there. Couldn't make it happen, but John Bapst going to give it right back. Butler's pass off the hands of Chaffee, out of bounds. So a lot of missed shots in this game, a lot of turnovers, but we have a competitive contest, and Mark, in my book, that is the most important item.
Yeah, 19-17 the score at half. We're sticking right to that here so far in the third quarter. John Bapst able to extend the lead by a bucket. Like you said, just going back and forth at each end.
Got a foul here against A.J. Lozano underneath the basket. So John Bapst will put it in play from underneath that hoop. Alex Gray is out. Caden Reed back in for MDI. Chaffee bounces it inside to Austin. Austin goes up, and he gets two. Good position there by Austin. Got in deep and hit the short shot.
It's 4 straight from John Bapst after MDI crept back to within 2.
Puts Austin into double figures, too. He's got 10 now. He is the only player in the game in double figures. MDI goes to work at the offensive end. Foul coming here against John Bapst. That might have been Pangburn. Yes, that'll be his third. So he's going to check out. Eduardo Fiore coming back in. The pass deflected there by Chaffee, out of bounds. Even the officials are trying to thread the needle. Official from the wing tried to get it across to his teammate. His pass was deflected as well. Ankrum dribbles left. Here's Hodgson. Actually had the basketball knocked away. It's going to be picked up by Peterson. Austin will bring it up into the front court, looks for help, gets it to Fiore. Fiore guarded closely by Laurendeau. Laurendeau giving up a few inches there, but hanging tough. Fiore in the lane. Butler, Chaffee tries to knife through the defense, puts up kind of a wild shot there off the side of the backboard. And now a tussle right below us, and we're going to get a foul against John Bapst. And that's going to go against Peterson.
This has certainly been a physical one, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed. Third on Levi. Another Levi last night, Levi Obert for Skowhegan, who had a very good game for the Riverhawks. And here's Laurendeau. Spencer with his second three, first since the first quarter. 3-point lead, last second shot by Peterson is no good. And that is going to do it for the third quarter of action. We've got a good one here in Herman between MDI and John Bapst. 31 for the Crusaders, 28 for the Trojans. We'll be back with fourth quarter action. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Underway here in the fourth quarter. John Bapst had the basketball, but MDI coming away with it underneath the hoop. Here's the steal by Andrew Zapiga. Takes it all the way in, fending off the defender. Count the hoop and one. Foul's going to be against Laurendeau. So Andrew Zapiga with the steal, the finish, and now looking for the bonus.
In such a tight game like we have here, it's a big momentum switch where MDI had possession of the basketball, a chance to potentially tie the game, and Bapst goes the other way for the and one.
7 points now for Andrew. Here's Lozano in the paint, up and under move. Nice job there by AJ. He doubles up his total. He's up to 4 points now with that bucket. 2-possession game, but just a 4-point lead and a long way to go in this one. Fiore into the paint, tries to go across the lane to Austin. Ball deflected back into the hands of Fiore. He's so strong. Here's Butler. Tough pass there. Gets it out to Chaffee. Now it's Fiore. Top to Austin. Inside they go to Fiore. Backs in, and that's a travel. Lorendo giving up some inches there to Fiore, but he has played him tough, fighting for position underneath the basket.
Yeah, those are two players that have not shied away from any sort of physicality tonight. They almost seem to be seeking it out.
Lozano saw an opening, got deep in the paint, misses the 5-footer, and now a tie-up underneath the basket, and the arrow's going to give it to MDI.
How many tie-ups is that in this half alone? That's going to be almost half a dozen, it seems.
There's been quite a few, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Ed Jones wants a timeout. We'll keep it right here. High school basketball on Ticket TV is brought to you in part by First National Bank. Dream first because you can. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Our broadcasts on Ticket TV and the Big East Network also brought to you by County Physical Therapy. They are located at 82 Sylvan Road in Bangor. They bring more than 30 years of experience from the county to the greater Bangor area. Immediate openings are available. Schedule your appointment today by calling 401-4324. All right. Two teams back out on the floor after the timeout called by John Bapst. Bapst with 5 team fouls. MDI with just 3. Parker open from 14 feet, but can't hit it. Long pass down court. Here's Chaffee leaning in. Wild shot, no good. Inside position for Parker. He'll get the rebound, and he'll be fouled by Chaffee.
For as physical of a game as this has been, both teams doing a pretty good job as far as staying out of foul trouble. Bapst with 6 team fouls to this point in the second half, and MDI with 3.
34-30, 6:21 on the clock. MDI trying to make it a one-possession game with this possession right here. Parker gets in the paint. He's going out for the shot, lost control of the basketball. Fortunately for him, bounced off a Crusader player right back into his hands. And the Trojans will reset. Hodgson goes to Lorendo. Out top, Parker. Right there, Fiore. Parker able to wrestle the basketball back. Lozano in the lane, lost it, picked up by Fiore. Fiore goes to the hoop, spins, throws it up, and no foul. Lorendo was back there defending. Good hustle there by Spencer Lorendo. Here's a shot from the left side by Austin, no good. Weak side rebound for Kimball. And Fiore wants to settle things down. I don't know if we got that replay, but
I do. He was on his back on the court. He looked shocked that there was no call. Take another look at it here on the fast break opportunity.
Look at the hustle by Spencer Lorendo, though. And Fiore.
He initially, he got part of the ball. Whether he got a piece of Fiore's hand as well, not quite sure from that angle.
Fiore at the line and misses that free throw. Fiore 5 points, but all of them in the first quarter. Dips, and he gets this one to make it a 5-point game.
He may only have 6 points, but he is putting in kind of that Marcus Smart sort of game, isn't he? Where his impact doesn't necessarily translate to the box score.
He has set the tone for his team, to be sure. MDI back to work in the half court. Fiore knocks it away, player to the floor, and we got a foul here against Eduardo as check that, Lorendo goes to the floor. Those two have been battling all afternoon long.
Yeah, I see the bodies coming together there, and Fiore just kind of running over the Trojan player going after the ball.
So that is 7 fouls now on John Bapst, so bonus. Lorendo at the line, and he cannot hit the front end. And the rebound to Austin for John Bapst. Spencer now 1 for 3 at the line. Crusaders can make this a 3-possession game late, but Alex Gray grabs onto that basketball, takes it away from Austin. So Bapst was looking to make it a 3-possession game. MDI was looking to make it a 1-possession game, but here's the steal by Eduardo Fiore, and this time he's able to beat Laurendo to the spot, and he lays it up and in. 8 points now for Eduardo. Miss there for MDI, and Ankrom still all kinds of time in this one. 4:25. 7-point lead for Bapst. Austin swings it left to Zapiga. He drives the left side. Nice defense there by Minutolo. Fiore spins. Zapiga, nothing doing there. Now it's Fiore driving again, dropping it off to Austin. Short range shot. Great job there by Fiore and Austin. Fiore with the drawing the defense. And Austin right there for the easy two. Left corner, that one around and out by Lozano. And right now, Mark, John Bapst controlling the glass.
And 9 points, largest lead of the game for either team. A couple of good looks right there before MDI able to control the rebound, but it is a struggle just to get across half court with this defensive pressure from John Bapst.
Kevin Austin now with 12 points. Another miscue there by the Trojans, and that shot no good by Kimball. And we're going to get a timeout here for MDI. Good timeout there for Justin Norwood heading down the home stretch, trying to get his team on the same page. We will take it as well. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Welcome back to high school basketball here on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. Heading down the home stretch in this boys game. Had a girls game earlier today. MDI the winner in that one against John Bapst, 65-32. This boys game has been much closer, though John Bapst is creating a little space here late. Doing a good job defensively, keeping MDI off the board. They've also been cleaning up on the glass here late. High school basketball on Ticket TV brought to you by Dean's Detailing. They've been Maine's auto detailing leader for 50 years. 'Tis the season, and Dean's gift cards are the perfect fit. Call 945-3016 or order your gift cards at deansdetailing.com. MDI with it. Laurendo spinning along the baseline. Parker wide open for three. That's off. No good. Ball tipped into the hands of Levi Peterson. The Trojans have gone very cold here late in this ball game. They're hoping they can find the range here and find it soon. Running out of time. Good steal there by Ankrom. Looks up floor. Takes it to the middle of the floor. Hodgson open. And he can't hit the shot. Offensive rebound, Reed. Reed kicks it out. Laurendo has 2 threes, and it's going to remain at 2. As he misses that one, ball loose. Saved in by Fiore.
I'm not sure his foot wasn't out of bounds when he saved that ball, but I guess neither ref saw it. Justin Norwood looking a little annoyed down there on the sideline, and you can understand why. Not only that call, the Trojans have also been unable to hit on 3 consecutive wide open threes that last time down the floor.
Yeah, I thought John Bapst might spread the floor here, but he continue at the same pace, and Zapiga with a walk there. He's going to check out of the ball game. So in for John Bapst, Kimball, Fiore, Pangburn, Peterson, and Austin. It's Ankrom, Parker, who tries to get the shot off there. He's going to be fouled by Fiore. Caden Reed is out there. Jack Hodgson as well, along with Spencer Laurendo. And Parker gets that free throw. MDI will take it. They have been really scraping for points. That's just their 3rd point here in the 4th quarter. And the second one is no good. 9:31, pressure in backcourt being applied by the Trojans. Bapst able to break the press. Fiore has it tipped from behind. Here comes MDI. Laurendo deals it to Hodgson. Hodgson dribbles right. Here's Parker for 3, and that is off, no good. Trojans just can't find the range here in this ball game.
Yeah, that one specifically looked like some tired legs there, that jumper being left short. Bapst, it looked like right there, got caught in between of wondering whether they should kill time or go for the open layup.
Right. Pearson had his shot blocked. MDI at the other end. Still alive, but with just about 40 seconds left. They have an uphill climb here against the Crusaders, who are looking to improve to 1-0, obviously. High school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network, brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, owners of your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores. Now let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for these two programs. Rivalry game coming up on Wednesday, MDI at Ellsworth. Orono at MDI on Saturday, December 18th. Following that, MDI with the long journey to Caribou, trip west to Foxtrot, and then they'll be playing right here at Herman on December 30th against the Hawks. Parker, MDI needs a bucket quickly, and that smothering defense by Bapst results in another turnover. Here's Fiore going to the hole. He'll get fouled, and Eduardo will be at the line for 2 free throws.
A little bit of a late whistle that time. I think Fiore was ready to turn around again and say, hold on. I know I'm out physicaling everyone out here, but I got to get something.
Take a look at the Bapst schedule after that free throw. Fiore hits it to make it 40-31. WA taking on John Bapst next. Bapst has a long trek to Presque Isle coming up, and right after that one, a trip to Holton. Fiore 2 for 2 at the line. So Eduardo, he scored 5 points in the first quarter. He's got 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Into double figures. Parker for 3. And no good. And let's see what the end result is here with 13.7 left. It's going to be MDI basketball. Ankrum, Orlando open underneath. Here's Hodgson, steps inside the arc. That one rims out, no good. Austin had the rebound momentarily. Here's Pangburn, and he is just trying to salt away the final seconds, and he will. The John Bapst Crusaders start the season with a win over MDI, 41-31, the final score. So the Bapst Crusaders start their campaign 1-0, and for MDI, they'll try to get their record even coming up on Tuesday night. All right, we will take a timeout. We'll be back with the post-game show next. This is high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network. We are back here with the post-game show. Jim Churchill along with Mark Paulette, and we'll have plenty of highlights for you here in just a second. But first, we want to give out some honors here in this one, and we'll start with our play of the game. And this was a big play, Mark. The score was tight as it was for much of this game, but it's Andrew Zapiga with the steal, the score, draws the foul, and completed the three-point play. And after that, John Bapst did not look back.
Yeah, that was late third quarter, 31-28 the score at that time. MDI had possession of the ball, bringing it over the half court, a chance to tie up the game, but Zapiga able to poke it loose and get the and one at the other end. Really well, you don't know what would have happened at the offensive end for MDI, but at the very least, a three-point swing to propel the Crusaders towards this opening day victory.
John Bapst got a number of contributions. There was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 players in the scoring column. But I think from a setting the tone standpoint and just being all over the court, being very physical, I think the player of the game, Mark, will give that to Eduardo Fiore.
Oh, without a doubt, because whatever his box score stats were at the end of the day, that really only paints half the picture of his contribution in this one.
Ended up with 10 points on the afternoon. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with more of the postgame show after this. Welcome back to the post-game show. Jim Churchill, Mark Paulette, and our Ticket TV crew. John Bapst winning this game against MDI by a final of 41-31. So the two schools split here today. MDI girls winning in our first broadcast of the day, 65-32. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this John Bapst win. Here's Kevin Austin with a nice cut and a nice touch there, picking up a couple of points for the Crusaders. Backdoor play here, Lauren Doe to Parker, and Parker the short range pass to Gray, gathered himself, went up strong. Got two there for the Trojans. There's Ankrum. Good ball movement here into the hands of Spencer Laurendo, who drains the three. MDI working here in the second half. That's Lozano in the paint, up and under. At that point, we still had a very close ball game, but things got away from the Trojans. Part of the reason, Eduardo Fiore. And Fiore with the steal and the bucket there. Fiore taking it to the paint, dropping it off to his teammate, Kevin Austin, who adds two more to his total. And those are your second half highlights here in the post-game show. Taking a look at the scoring in this one, again, Eduardo Fiore leading the way for John Bapst with 10 points. Check that. Kevin Austin leading the way with 12 points. Fiore with 10. So 12 for Austin, 10 for Fiore. And then it was 6 points for Zapiga, 4 points for Levi Peterson, 2 for Nick Chaffee, 2 for Jordan Kimball. And that is their total of 41. For MDI, who really scuffled in the second half in the scoring column, especially in that fourth quarter. They were led in the ball game by Spencer Laurendo, who had 9 points. 4 points for A.J. Lozano, 4 points for Caden Reed, 4 points for Alex Gray, 3 for Evan Ankrum, 4 points, for Charlie Parker as well, and 3 points on a three-pointer for Joey Minutolo for their total of 31. All right, well, that's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. Again, a doubleheader from Herman High School, MDI against John Bapst. MDI, a girls winner, 65-32. Bapst gets the split with a boys win, 41-31. And we'll take one final look at our upcoming broadcast schedule here on Ticket TV. We've got plenty of action coming your way this week. On Tuesday nights, we'll be in Class A, Messalonsky at Brewer Girls, 6 p.m. tip. We'll finish up the week on Friday night with a big one, Nokomis at Brewer. That's a 6:30 tip from Brewer High School. In between 4 Big East games, Presque Isle at Old Town Girls. That should be interesting. Orono at Herman Boys, right here at Herman High School. Presque Isle at Old Town Boys, and Old Town at Herman Girls, again right here at Herman High School. All right, thanks to our crew here in Game 2. Marcus Caesar, Aiden Crystal, Mark Paulette. I'm Jim Churchill saying so long from Herman. Again, the final. John Bapst, 41. MDI 31. This has been high school basketball on Ticket TV and the Big East Network.